Good morning all. Welcome to the Capital Friday the 19th of April 2024. I'm the leader of council and chair of this meeting. We're in the Essex Hall today because of elections, and we're using that room to help with the opening of postal votes. And so we have no mics here today, so can I encourage everybody to speak up a little bit louder than they normally would, because we've only got the camera over there and that's picking up everything that's being said today. And with that, I'll start the meeting. And the first item is apologies for absence.
Thank you, Leader. I can give apologies for absence this morning from the Deputy Leader of the Council, Councillor Ivan Henderson, and also from Councillor Carlo Guglielmi, the Leader of the Conservative Group, and Councillor Jeff Bray, the Leader of the Tending Residents Alliance Group, and the Deputy Leader of the Conservative Group, Councillor Paul Honeywood, is deputising for Carlo Guglielmi today. Thank you, Leader.
Thank you very much. Item number 2 is minutes of the meeting held on Tuesday the 12th of March. I'm happy to move them.
I'm happy to second.
Thank you very much. Any comments? Okay, I'll sign them all as we go. Item number 3, declaration of interests. Sorry, I'm going to stick that. I've moved, seconded. Harry?
Agreed.
Thank you very much. Got ahead of myself a little bit. Declarations of interest. Nick.
Oh, so I haven't got a microphone. Right. Thank you, Lady. Yeah, I'd just like to declare an interest, pecuniary interest in item 9 on the agenda, the report of the portfolio holder for corporate finance and governance, in respect of my position as a trustee of Brightlingsea Lidor, which is referenced in that report. There is, I have a interest in respect of a corporate tenancy agreement between Tenerife District Council, Brightlingsea Town Council and Brightlingsea Lidor Charitable Incorporated organisation, in which I am a trustee.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Item number 4. I'm just assuming there are no other.
Declare on the Town Council of the Brightlingsea on the same issue.
Okay. Number 4, announcements by the Leader of the Council. I haven't got any today. It's been a relatively quiet month for announcements, and being as it was only 5 weeks ago that we did this, I'm happy to move on to announcements by cabinet members, agenda up from number 5. I believe you've got something, Nick.
Yes, thank you, Leader. Yeah, I'd just like to confirm the start of the consultation period on the sport and activity strategy that has gone live. It's on our website. I have arranged a number of meetings with officers around the district. So, for instance, on 7th of May in Frinton, Walton, 9th of May in Harwich, 13th of May in Manningtree, Norfolk, 15th of May in Brightlingsea, and then in Clacton on the 5th of June. The consultation runs to the 9th of June. There is a questionnaire on our website, and I'm hoping that paper copies will be available for residents within town and parish halls if they wish to participate. And I would encourage all members and members of the public to have a look at the strategy and put forward their comments, which we will consider in due course. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Barry. And just to add to that, I mean, we had the all members briefing on Wednesday about that, and that was extremely good. Well received by feedback from other councillors. And I'll echo your comments around making sure that as many people as possible take part in this consultation, because it really is about what they want and what they want to see. Thank you very much. Any other announcements? Okay. Right, we're all good. Sorry, we've had a bit of a technical issue. So I'm going to take us back to where I think you may have lost us, and that is your second to Councillor Baker, not Councillor Bush.
Yeah, thanks, Leader. Yeah, as I mentioned, I was unable to attend due to holidays, but I've read through the report, recommendations, and totally support and endorse this. I think I'd like to say a few words on it. You know, this report it really embraces the richness of the district and the aspirations and ambitions of our core objectives and our plans to continue to deliver enjoyment for the residents and tourists that visit us. You know, these objectives, demonstrate desire and focus to achieve those aspirations. And the planning team have done a great deal of work in advance. Not sitting on laurels. We know we've got to address the local plan by 2025. And I commend the officers involved with this, putting together this report for consultation. It's laying a bedrock to continue to build upon tendering districts and a place shaping for the future. The officers and cabinet alike recognise the challenges here, and I think we've done an amazing job at this juncture of time. The planning team have put us in a strong position, and when we digest this report and recommendations across the local plan, the effort from the local plan committee to add their input and contribution has been valuable. So, looking to the future, it's a superb piece of work. Looking forward to the consultation and driving our district into a far better place long term. To summarise, the vision objective embraces these core aims. It's a wonderful rural heartland. It's got seasides. We know we've got opportunities for the district with the Freeport, so it's got so much on offer. So this is a great bedrock start platform to build on, and I'm looking forward to seeing the consultation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. A couple of my thoughts as well. I think it just goes once again to show, as Mike's already said, just the quality of our officers. This is an excellent report that I saw, and it does set out the stall for what our place shaping is going to look like over the next 100 years. And I think it should also be recognised, I think you did that very well, Councillor Bush, that the committee chaired by, unfortunately, who's not here today, so I could have done it to Councillor with the Army, and what the committee's delivered and their comments, and the fact that we've got very little to add to it, and just quite happy for it to go forward. I think it's just positive around how it affects the whole of us, every single person in the district, and even some outside. So, Councillor Barry, you want to come?
Thank you, Leader. I'll just endorse what's been said, and that I also welcome this report and the vision and objectives as outlined. They prioritise quality of life for our residents, healthy lifestyle options, and the promotion of connectivity and active travel infrastructure across the district and in new or planned development. This resonates particularly well and reflects the aspirations of the recently published sport and activity strategy, and I think this shows how we are working together as a council with officers and across all of our portfolios to produce the best outcomes we can for our residents. And I would endorse that this is a really good piece of work.
Thank you, Councillor Barry. Councillor Placey.
There's not much more I can add, except that I'm really looking forward to the bits about improving health and the modern health facilities that will be available, and the way that it's going to affect education with schools, etc.
Thank you very much, Councillor Placey. And I think it shouldn't be lost that, we've got this local plan and we're now building on it for the future. When some councils haven't even got a local plan, and it's a testament to this council, previous administration and current, that we have this local plan in place and that we're moving it forward. Was there a technical thing that we needed to sort out?
Yeah, thank you very much. Two things I'll just say is that it's just a general comment is that the local plan is about place shaping for the next 50 to 100 years. And so what you do collectively now, long after we've all no longer sitting around these tables, is going to be is how our grandchildren, etc. So it is a really important one, and all the links made to our other services. Just purely on page 20, your recommendation, I take it therefore, because I haven't heard it, that the Cabinet doesn't wish to make any further comments or amend the vision, and and therefore it is supporting it going out for published for public consultation purposes as part of the issue. So line 1 of the recommendation, the Cabinet decides whether it wishes to comment on and or amend the vision. So there's no to those, I assume, and therefore you are supporting this going, therefore going out for public consultation.
That's consensus that we are going to amend it and we'll let it go. Mr. Hutchinson, agree?
Agreed.
Yeah. And therefore the recommendations agree? Agree. You're outside, you need to do it twice, but just so we're clear. So,
I just want to ask.
sorry, Candace. That's a start. I know we closed it, but have
I
you
just want to ask. I'll just ask Councillor Chapman when's the start and end of the consultation?
It's Councillor Scott, it's June or July, or June, July, about that time. There's no definite date set down as yet, but that's when it will go out for consultation.
So the
And,
date.
and there will be other things that will need to be consulted on that have not yet gone to the planning policy and local community, but Mr. Guy will be there.
There was also advised councillors and we'll put it on the bulletin for members and actually what's going out there is discussed.
So we'll start that and finish that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't been set as yet.
Okay.
moving on to agenda item number 9. 8. Lead of the council's items. There are no items submitted by lead of the council on this occasion. Number 9, cabinet voted items, and this is mine, report of the corporate finance and portfolio holder. So this is a finance report, performance report 23-24, sorry. And this is a general update at the end of December 23, that known as Q3.
Leader, permission to withdraws.
I'll try to remember to bring you back in. So there's quite a lot to unpack here, and as usual, I've written some comments just to set out what I felt the report was saying, and I'm happy to take questions afterwards. So, as set out in earlier reports during the year, we remain in a good position to be able to keep on top of the various financial and budget issues that have emerged. We have already made a number of budget adjustments, as well as flagging up items within previous reports. This is in addition to setting out a number of proposed budget adjustments within the General Fund report that was presented to full council back in February. These latter adjustments now be...
Stop the full flow, I apologise for that. Councillor Chapman, you did declare an interest in terms of like, is that because you are also a trustee?
I'm not a trustee, I'm just a town councillor.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check for you, that's fine.
Okay, I won't start back at the beginning, but thanks. It's fine. These latter adjustments now being included with Appendix H alongside a limited number of further proposed changes. The report also discusses a number of issues that, although have not been adjusted for yet, in the spirit of openness and transparency, I wanted to make sure that these were highlighted in the main body of the report in a timely way. We will be revisiting these issues as part of finalising the outturn position for 23-24 that will be presented to Cabinet later in the year. When I introduced the Quarter 2 position last year, I mentioned the challenging issues of crematorium income and engine costs. The first has been reflected in Appendix H, with the latter now reducing as a risk, given the lower prices we are now paying. However, the world remains a volatile place, and we will need to keep a close eye on energy costs, which could potentially start to rise again if tensions continue to escalate elsewhere in the world. As set out in the report, it is positive that, although we are seeing some unfavourable issues emerging, we expect that we can be offset by favourable items, such as the continuing increase in income from our treasury activities. Therefore, based on the current estimated position, we are expected to be able to manage the emerging adverse issues within the Council's overall budget position for the year. In fact, we should be able to address some additional emerging cost pressures from this overall net favourable position in 23 and 24. As you can see from within Appendix H, we are expecting to be able to fund cost pressures totaling over £800,000. As I have mentioned before, managing any impact from adverse issues in the long term will be more challenging, and will continue to be a key feature of our forecasting work. We need to find ways to manage our liabilities and manage our costs and balance against the various income streams we receive and collect. The recommendations set out a few additional items for this quarter and include a procurement exemption along with some delegations with the background to each one set in the report. In terms of the forecast, we will continue to develop this over the coming weeks and months, and this will include setting out plans to deliver the required savings. We will also continue to review the list of unfunded cost pressures as part of this work, which will also be further developed alongside our emerging highway priorities. The next key milestone in our financial calendar is the outturn for 23-24, which I look forward to reviewing and finalising with officers before the end of May. So in summary, tough times remain ahead, but it is positive that we can manage a number of adverse issues within our overall budget for 23-24, along with being able to fund some initial cost pressures looking ahead to 24-25. So I've moved that before we go to questions. Second.
I'm happy to second that leader, the quarter 3 financial performance report. Happy to second.
Thank you very much. Do I have any comments or questions? Councillor Bush.
Thank you, Liz. Yeah, it's a very strong, comprehensive report. But what I'd like to say is, as a portfolio for environment, I really thank the leader and the corporate director to increase the support and recognise the need for an additional 100,000 for the waste and street cleaning contract. This is the largest contract that this council releases. It's going to be for a long period of time. We need to provide the best value for money for our residents. It affects everybody, and that is so welcome. We're well on course now to move forward in that procurement. There's a lot of action going behind the scenes. I want to say this is much needed to make certain that we move this forward. We have to deal with the statutory and legislation is continually changing. So that is welcome to make certain we can provide the best value for money for our residents, 26 and beyond. Thank you.
Councillor Hammond.
Thank you, Chair, Leader. I did have 3 points down, and by coincidence, this 100,000 was one of the points that I was looking at, which I believe is on page 83. No, it's not. I've got the wrong page. That's the other item. It's on page 87. It says supporting the re-tender of the waste street cleaning contract, and then goes on to give indeed a little bit of reasoning, saying it is proposed to set aside a further sum of money over and above the earlier amount of 100,000 to support the work. Could I ask for a little bit more of a explanation of the use of that 200,000? What is it actually being used for?
Okay. Probably easier to go to officer.
It would be.
If that's right with you, Damien?
Yes.
Just to explain. I do kind of know it, but I want to get it right for you.
So the reason for the additional money is basically to fund the support that we need to ensure we get the contract right. So we'll be looking for external legal support, procurement support, support in preparing the specification to ensure that it's correct and it meets all of the members' requirements, to ensure we're delivering what members want. So basically that's what that money is about. We've already used it to gain some additional support and guidance to support us to get to the position we're in at the moment. So it's basically for external funding to ensure that we get this contract right. If we get it wrong, we have to live with it through the term of the contract, which is quite some considerable length of time. So the short answer, to gain external support to ensure we get the contract right.
And who are we receiving that support from?
So it's a number of different bodies. So at the moment, we're just about to get quotations to get support to help us provide that specification. So that's 4 or 5 different bodies we'll be going. We'll be following usual processes, either quotations or tenders. It's the same with the legal. We'll be looking to get quotations from different legal firms, and the procurement support is through Essex County Council.
Okay, thanks very much.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, so it's been moved. Seconded.
I did have a couple of other points. Sorry,
Actually, I thought that was it.
Get off that line.
My bad. Sorry, Councillor.
Yeah, the other point I wanted to touch on was something that we was dealt with at scrutiny and also cabinet, and that was the potential budget deficit of 100,000 for the net, which is page 83. That's why I was out of sequence. I've got them in order. No jump. So I remember the scrutiny committee looking at that.
apologies to all our audience, we're having technical issues here, so we're going to go right back to the beginning, and Councillor Honeywood is going to ask us a question of this agenda item after I've read, and just straight to Councillor Honeywood's question around the North Essex Partnership.
Yes, I'm inquiring about the 100,000 set aside to for covering the net. I know it's something that was looked at by the scrutiny committee, and I believe you were delegated decision-making powers on where we go from here. So really what I was asking for was an update on the situation regarding the net, and then just to tag on at the end to declare that I, as an interest, I am a member of Essex County Council.
And I'll make that same declaration. I'm a member of the County Council as well. So the situation with the North Essex Parking Partnership was that we felt we were in a position where we might have to leave. Unfortunately, the reason we wanted to leave is because we didn't have enough information, and there was also the same reason why we had to stay. So we are continuing for another year within inside the North Essex Parking Partnership. One of the concerns we had was over the financial position of the North Essex Parking Partnership, and we felt that we needed to put £100,000 aside, and that doesn't mean it's going to be used because we don't know what, and this is the problem, the final outturn is going to be, but we felt that we needed to have some sort of provision in there, and once we knew what that would be, that would cover it. As far as how we're moving forward, it was felt that we would be better having not had the information that we sought, and look to get all the other partners together to sort out the initial problems that we faced in the first place, along with the difficulties we had with leaving and bits and pieces like that. But at the moment, we haven't had another meeting since we came back in the beginning of April. We started our new year with them. And the first meeting of that, I believe, it's Councillor Barrett, so I'm asking on his behalf at the moment, is to have that first round of talks around how we can look at the North Essex Parking Partnership moving forward, and some of the things that we believe that they can do to help their own financial situation, rather than just sending us documents and leaving us in the wind like they have at the moment. Question?
Thanks very much. Yeah, the last one was just, again, a bit of clarification. Forgive me, I didn't have much time to look at the paperwork. And that was around spendles. And I remember Councillor Baker informing scrutiny that we were overdue on the completion of spendles, and he felt it would be later this year that it would be completed. And I remember when I raised it with your good self, a full council, you thought it would be overdue by about a month. So the question is, how much are we overdue? And from a financial perspective, is there an additional cost now? Are we running over budget on that? Do you want to take that one?
I'll answer that for you as best I can, Councillor Honeywood. In regard to the first part of the question, it will be longer than a month. I will be having a meeting with officers to clarify certain things on Monday as to a timeline, but we are overdue. August has been suggested, but I don't want to be held to that. With regard to cost, there is likely to be further costs. What those are, I am unable to tell you right now. And obviously that again is a conversation that I'll be having on Monday and going forward over the next couple of weeks. And then hopefully we'll be able to give you a much better answer. At the moment, I don't want to give you a speculative amount.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks very much. That's been finished.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? Okay, so it's been moved. Seconded. Can I have
Agree.
Could somebody get Councillor Barry back here?
Sounded like fun.
Welcome back. Thank you. Okay, agenda item number 10, that's Cabinet Member Writing Report, and that's a report of the Housing and Planning Portfolio Order. So you, Councillor Baker, and this is the consideration and adoption of a tenant involvement policy and anti-social behaviour policy.
Thank you, Leader. This report presents two further policies for approval, as you just said, and adoption by Cabinet. Both policies now formalise work already being done by the Council's Housing Service, and both meet the requirements set out in the Regulated Social Housing Consumer Standards that came into effect on the 1st of this month. Within the executive summary and within the supporting information providing detail on pages 93 to 95, it set out the Council's approach to each policy, the vision priorities and the direction of the tenant involvement, and how the Council will deter and tackle antisocial behaviour in the neighbourhoods where we provide social housing. The recommendations are on page 89 and include a recommendation to delegate authority for any future updates or amendments to the relevant corporate director in consultation with the portfolio holder responsible at that time for housing. And I commend the policies to Cabinet.
Thank you very much. Councillor Baker, do you have a second?
Yeah, I'm happy to second this report, Leader, and I welcome this report and look forward to these policies being adopted. I think it's good to see these policies being developed. All good social landlords have a duty to engage their tenants in shaping and scrutinising the services which are delivered to them. These policies are integral to delivering our commitment to tenant involvement and set out clearly the partnership and responsibilities of both tenants and the council. Thank you. I'm happy to second this report.
Thank you very much. Personally, I've read these reports, and it's just a sheer amount of reports that are coming through Cabinet at the moment around the policy and this whole thing around Ofwat and Ombudsman, and it's a serious amount of pressure to put on the councils to deliver what it should be good housing standards, and I applaud our officers for meeting a lot of those standards and the way we're going forward, especially when you consider some of the other councils across the country, and I hate to harp on about it and promote us as being the bastion of good practice, but so many people get themselves into problems with this, and I applaud both Councillor Baker and his team through the director around such good sort of delivery of these policies, and I look forward to a whole host of more on it, I believe. Any comments? Councillor Baker.
Yeah, just a small one really. I welcome this policy and hopefully it reinforces the work that's already being done under the Communities Safety Partnership to address antisocial behaviour. So to me it can only be good going forward.
Thank you, Councillor Baker. Right, it's been moved by Councillor Baker, seconded by Councillor Cox. The recommendations on page 89. Agreed. Thank you very much. So, the agenda item number 11 is also another Cabinet member item, and this is the report of the partnership portfolio holder, and this is Councillor Pacey with the draft funding review.
You may recall that Cabinet agreed to review the grant funding of the Council last year after the introduction of the subsidy control. So we thought we needed to take a look at what we're doing, how we're doing it. And we thought the best way forward is to do this in two parts, as you'll see from the report. So this really is a position statement showing what we funded in the past year, how we funded it, the governance that we abided by. And if this is agreed, well, part of this actually, the other recommendation is that going forward, we have a review of what I work with officers to see what funding is needed out there and to see what way forward within a government to meet the governance required, especially that horrible word, the subsidy control. Yeah, I think that's it basically, so I move the recommendation.
Thank you very much. Do you have a second? Councillor Barry.
Thank you, Lady. Yes, I'll second this report and recommendations. It is a necessary update to our position, and keeping all our funding arrangements under review does ensure best value and the best use of those resources and the best location to provide services to residents. So I fully support this and second it.
Thank you very much. Do I have any comments? Right, it's been moved by Councillor Pacey, seconded by Councillor Barry. Recommendations on 119 and 120. Are we agreed?
Agree.
Thank you very much. Agenda item number 12 is also a cabinet members item, and that's report of partnership portfolio holder. I'll give it back to you, Councillor Placey, to talk about career track apprenticeships.
So talking about career track there, one of our success stories, I think, and of course career track is 40 years old, and you will remember that Ofsted paid us a visit last year, and we had to wait quite a long time to find out that we've got good across every area, and that our apprentices enjoy their training, their learning, and are all very motivated to continue with that. Career track also, I mean, the importance of career track is that it gives opportunities to people that may otherwise struggle to get onto the learning ladder, as it were, and to get a satisfied job. It's not just for young people, although mostly I think it is, that attend. The officers can put me right on that. And also, within this report, it does actually identify that it does cost us a little bit. But it is a little bit in the scheme of things, because the opportunities that it gives to our residents to either pursue a career or pursue further education are more than compensated. I think that's all I need to say. The report is pretty comprehensive in itself. I mean, it does keep up to date. There is I've got it written down here, sorry, an e-portfolio system that allows virtual learning, which is the way to go forward, isn't it? I feel a bit like a newscast here. I've got some breaking news. And I hope I get this right, and I'm sure Anastasia or Debbie will put me right if I haven't. We've just heard, well, the last couple of days, that we've been successful in our public health accelerator bids that we worked on with SNEFT, get that right, East Sussex and North Essex NHS Foundation Trust. They've agreed to share 100 apprenticeship places with us for tendering, and this bid gives us money to actually pay towards the salaries of these apprentices, which should make it more attractive for employers across the board, because part of the problem is that they have to miss at least half a day a week to attend their training. So, and a nice character to we hope. Sorry? Sorry. Okay. So this will be a joint endeavour, career track, Colchester Institute, and of course SNEF. And thanks to the hard work of the 4 officers involved in that bid, I should publicise that later. And so I so move.
Yes, Tracy, can you have a second?
Chairman, I'm quite happy to second this excellent report. And I'd just like to make 2 comments, I think, which I picked up off of page 138. I think this is in the background, and it says that we have an 80% success rate up until the end of the academic year 22-23, which I think is outstanding. But that's outstanding. What was even more outstanding is that the survey of all employers with career track apprentices, 100%. That's all of them said they would recommend it. So, well done. I think it's very, and that recent news is even better news, isn't it? I mean, fantastic. That's all I have to say, Chairman. Thank you.
Councillor Scott.
Yeah, Chairman, as you know, I'm a huge fan of career track. I think they do a wonderful job. And you bring young people into the council, learning stuff here, and they go around the departments, and then they stay here. They're on. I mean, Gary Guyver obviously is one. I know, and maybe, and Damien as well. And
I don't think you're wrong.
but all I'm saying is it's getting people up there in our district that are fully aware. I like to tell young people in my area that have you thought of going on a career track, you know, and a lot of people are not aware of that. So I do like to promote it where I can. So well done for everyone.
Thank you, Councillor
You
Scott.
just said what I was going to say.
And of course, it's wider than just PDC. You know, the council, you know, there are other employers, other agencies that we work with. So, you know, it's really, I'm really proud of it.
Councillor Bush.
Yeah, just a few words there. Yeah, that's absolutely great call, and it's really good news all round. For me, I look at page 114, the word good outcome from Austin. And when I look down at the positive statements, being an apprentice, come from an apprentice background myself, I'm such an advocate of that. Seeing the success that we're seeing now, and those key points on apprentices developing in a broad range of skills across all, is really good for this district. It's good for people's future. And I will say give 100% support for this. It is a really great achievement. And as I say, the apprentices feeling safe, the apprentices benefit from it, it goes on. All of those statements are so positive. Just keep up the work and grow it to create more opportunities for this district. Fantastic.
And I think I echo a lot of sentiments, in fact, many sentiments that are here today. It is an absolutely wonderful thing, and it lends itself to our priorities about bringing out aspirations and job creation for the residents of this district. I'm not going to allow it to look too much on it. I'm going to go to the vote. It's been moved by Councillor Baker, seconded by Councillor Baker. Are we all agree? Yeah. Thank you very much. Agenda item number 13 is management items that we have.
Yeah, I must admit it's sort of slightly amusing in terms of management team items. It's more just really the opportunity because the camera's on for anybody watching and for all members. Just to say as a reminder that the rules about postal votes have changed. So if you have somebody who wants to come and put a postal vote, or they put a postal vote through the front door, through the letterbox themselves, it will not be accepted. It has to go through the postal vote system, or they have to come in and fill in a form here. If somebody wants to take their postal vote to a postal one of the stations, which people often do, that is fine. But again, they will have to fill out a form when they do it, because it's not a TDC thing which was introduced, it's a national thing, which is trying to reduce anybody taking other people's postal votes in on their behalf, rather than it being done by the person or by a close member of the family. So just so to say is that when you're talking to somebody, if you in the past may have said to them, oh, just pop it in the door outside, that will be fine. Now it won't be, so please ask them to either come in and deliver it, or take it to a polling station at which they can be accepted.
I tried it yesterday. I brought my postal vote in and presented it at the desk, and the form is painless. You say, oh, there's a form to fill in, but it's really quite painless, quite quick, quite easy.
Thank you.
Councillor Scott.
Yeah, thank you, Linda. Yeah, I think it's a good idea actually, and it puts people's mind at rest that they know that if they do have to take a ballot paper postal vote into the TDC, they know they can be assured for this form. But I was wondering whether, I know the rules have changed, I was wondering whether the publicity team can maybe do a press release or something to people out there, because I know in my part of the world, people just started to get their postal votes now. I know in Clacton areas, they've got it earlier, so it's a bit of a delay. And I know some people are getting their postal votes. I know Councillor Wigan, she's still waiting for her postal vote to arrive. I was wondering whether the management team are going to put a press release explaining about the new rules.
So it's in the postal vote. There's a slip in there which explains that. So if anybody's got a postal vote, when they open it up, fill it in, there is something which explains that in there as well. And we're regularly doing publicity around the different parts of the election, and we'll cover that as part of it. This was just an opportunity, another one of those opportunities to tell people about it. For the PFCC, obviously, that's one which we're going through now. More importantly, in terms of volume which we will get, of course, it will be the general election, and that's meant to where we can see far greater volume and how we manage it for a greater volume, which obviously will be likely to be some time later this year. Will be sometime later this year. And of course, the next general election, TDC will be doing both constituencies rather than just the Clacton constituency. So we will be doing the North Essex as well as the Clacton.
Can I ask a supplementary question? the rules, any rules change on proxy voting?
So I think what I'm going to ask you to do, Councillor Scott, was just an announcement about the postal vote on election day. Can I ask you to speak to?
While you're in house for
No, we'll ask. You've got to ask the elections.
Nice try, Councillor Scott. And a shameless plug, I'll just say it's Friday, so if you don't know what that is, Friday Friday, it's a real thing. So it's about your voter ID, and I would suggest if you don't know what that is, use your search engine, type in Find It Friday, and it will give you all the explanation about what's going on. Okay, I think we've come to the end of the agenda. The date of the next meeting is going to be Friday the 17th of May. I hereby close the meeting.